Hi, I'm Ross Woodfield. Welcome to Blackwell Global's daily market update. The markets were relatively quiet overnight compared to the volatile situations we've seen in the past 2 weeks, with the VIX down slightly. The US dollar index fell as investors looked for returns elsewhere amid growing speculation the Federal Reserve will push back the timing of interest rate rises. I don't believe these fears are necessarily grounded in facts, as last week we saw US unemployment claims hit the lowest level in 14 years. This may just be profit taking from recent bullish trends, so we could see the dollar hold much of the gains. And equities benefited from the interest rate sentiment and the recent positive earnings reports as they look to claw back some of last week's losses. The large double bottom pattern on the H4 chart in the S&P 500 index looks to have signalled an end to the sell-off, and I think we're now likely to see a push towards the recent highs just above the 2000 mark. The Fed reiterated its stance that it could break up large banks if they don't stop their risky behaviour, and equities could feel the pinch if this becomes more realistic. And looking now at the euro, and it was up on the dollar weakness despite the disappointing German PPI result. The PPI was flat at 0% versus the expected 0.1% growth. And the ECB current account also disappointed at 18.9 billion euros versus 21.3 billion expected. We have a number of PMI results out later this week, and if these continue the recent disappointing trend, we could see more talk of stimulus from the ECB, in which case the euro will suffer. And finally today, the Aussie dollar is one that we'll be watching closely this week, and shortly we'll see the Chinese GDP and industrial production figures. This week we'll also see inflation figures, a speech by RBA Governor Glenn Stevens, and HSBC's Chinese manufacturing PMI. We're likely to see some big swings in the Aussie this week, but I believe they could be more bearish as the RBA likes to talk down the Aussie dollar and is reluctant to raise interest rates. But any positive Chinese data will be bullish for the Aussie, so we could see some fireworks. That's all we have time for today. For Blackwell Global, I'm Ross Woodfield. Thanks for watching.